Signature Television. Hope you're good out there. We're counting now. Just about 2 weeks at the end of the year. How prepared are you? Even when the year ends, it's good to always talk about some of these issues, especially as it relates to leadership, because before you know it, we'll start talking about 2 years to another elections. So then I wanted to ask you, do you think most people of different territories that have their leaders deserve the kind of leaders that they have? Well, some persons would basically argue that maybe in Africa they don't deserve, in Europe they do, in America, Southeast Asia they do, and in some other places they don't. And all because of some of the electoral issues that these countries are having. But because if it is free and fair like we have in Europe and America, maybe they would deserve. But some others would say they don't really deserve. But then to what extent? We have a leadership coach with us live in the studio, Mr. Daniel Ukwu. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you.
So first question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Nigerians deserve the kinds of leaders that they have?
Deserve? Well, if you say deserve, I don't think it's not the right question because you see, when you talk about deserve, if it is something within your control, and then if you have the leader, you can now say yes. But this is something outside your control, so you don't really. It's what the majority, like in politics, they say majority carries the vote. So even in America now, Trump have won the election. But I tell you that some people, if you want to talk about Trump, they will even shoot. They want my cousin in America. Don't talk about Trump in his.
I mean, no, but if majority says this is the person that they want,
but you say whether they deserve.
People deserve. I mean,
well, if you say yes by majority, but that word is not proper. I don't see it like in Nigeria. I wouldn't say with this. I don't know. Yes, it's the majority, but majority can also be 40. Yes, I agree. It's majority for a leader to emerge. It has to be majority opinion, but then that majority opinion is also a little subjective.
How so?
It's subjective now.
How subjective?
It all depends on the process. Selection process, election campaign process, voting process, then election declaring process. You can do every other thing, and then it's just like let us not go there.
No, we have to, because again, you are pointing out something very critical. Because these things you mentioned are the ways we choose our leaders, and so if we don't point at the point where we missed it, then we practically have no discussion.
No, as far as I'm concerned, and having followed leadership, I think we're also missing it at selection at the party process. Because you find out that it's party that choose who they like. And then even there's no conditionalities given on how to choose their flag bearers. Because, in every process, it's just like giving you admission at university. There's conditions. Or even if anything you do, okay, like for me to come here now, there's somebody invited me, there's always condition, and then, but you find out that in Nigeria politics, I don't know whether at the party, we have problem at the party selection process, because one thing I've learned that if you miss it at selection point, everything, even if you are employing somebody, and then at that selection point, that's where you are. But if you just close your eye that it doesn't matter, by the time the person comes in, it becomes very difficult to push out the person. You find out that when you push out the person, it's either the person is taking you to court, or when you want to do something, because the person has developed muscle. He has developed muscle. But at that selection, if you do due diligence, I think we have INEC, whatever. They just conduct the election. They are not involved in the party process, because if you watch what we went through under this 2023 election, And then when somebody has emerged, they are now remembering that he didn't go to school, Chicago, all this story, all this one. It's already too late. And then you can't push even the person has even become stronger than you are. So whatever happened. But if at that selection process, you now give condition, health, or whatever certificate, whatever condition, or if you get it right, then even age. But it's only the party just give us what they like or who they like, and then they say we should vote. Well, we are voting now.
Right. So let's talk about Nigerian leaders living in affluence right now. Peter Obi has come as to say that our leaders are feasting and asking us to fast. Do you think this is right, and why?
Absolutely. Because you see, if you look at their lifestyle, even the vehicles on road, if you have monitored our head of state, the entourage that goes, you check if you cost what, and then they are doing this in, you see, because they always something that's state visits, that's official visit and personal visit. They find out that they've not tried to separate what is official or state visits. Like now, the convoys, even if they are going for a naming ceremony, if they are going for a wedding. You see, we have this kind of, they want to show off that governor is coming. And then we come with a lot of entourage. And then those people are going to be entertained. Those people are going to be given. So you find out that even if they are coming in an ordinary wedding, you find out that you can imagine the burden on the whoever that is inviting them. These are something that even if they are coming, they come quietly as an individual. But you find out that they carry the same affluence as a governor. No, it's not supposed. Even in naming ceremony, ordinary private life, that is, there are always this private life and official life. And if it's official life, they are going to visit a local government, or they are going to do some state. They can. It's too expensive. I don't know, because even the jeeps on the road. Let's say a governor, the jeeps. How many jeeps that following? Why? At least not more than 5. But you find out that at times you can count 15, 12, 20 self. Not to talk of other private. I think their affluence is too much. Why people are crying?
But then they'll tell you it's constitutional. I mean, these things are there for them to use.
Nothing makes it constitutional. It's just like a ego. It's not constitutional. What makes it constitutional? It's just like it's only Peter Obi that have came to really understand what is constitutional. Wastage. Is wastage constitutional? What makes it constitutional? If you know that something is not right, yes, you are the governor, but in terms of these cars, do you know fueling it? Cost of fuel. Of course, they don't. Because they don't pay for fuel. There's one thing I've discovered in this. Because when I was in the bank, I like making reference in the banking industry because I was privileged to serve as be a personal assistant to the ED, and they found out that they don't. When it comes to fuel, electricity, all this, they don't know what is happening. They are being taken care of, and that's why they keep punching us with fuel, high electricity. They don't pay all these things. If you have been an executive or you've been in government, you understand. They don't pay, or they don't. Governments take, and they give them constant, or is it what they call dedicated line? So that even if we have 24 hours and they have to give them light 25 hours or 26 hours, that's what they will do. So they pamper them as if they are not there. And that's why when some of them get there, they are easily carried away. But like you said, it maybe is what you are saying is constitutional. If it is constitutional, I will agree with you. But then, if somebody who have human feeling will say that yes, people are suffering and all the rest of it. Most of them don't buy fuel. They don't know what it costs, except when they leave that office. Because then in the bank, even they will not, even if they are traveling is first class, they're nothing like business. Because the bank bears it. Mm-hmm. There's a difference now. You said if you are traveling, you bear the cost. and then the signature TV now sponsors the course. Do you understand? If the signature TV is sponsoring, they will pay your flight, they will do everything, they will, you just carry your bag, enter. But if you are the one paying it, maybe instead of going by air, if you do the course, those days when we're in the bank, they will now, when you are traveling or going to somewhere, they will give you bulk money. And then that do expense, so you might decide to take lesser. Okay, let me give you an example. When we're also in the bank, we often go to bring a foreign currency, and then we're supposed to go by air, but due to whatever, we now go by a bus. And then so that the difference, we are looking at the little change that will enter your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is if you don't have access to the phone now, you don't have alternative, you can't spend them. So there are always difference between personal and the way you are paying from your pocket. Even they give you the money and then you are paying from you try to, so that you have some change. You can buy some bread.
But then, you have alluded to Peter Obi as one of the persons who can, have a human face when it comes to leadership. After all, he did it in the Anambra state. And one person, you could also pinpoint one or two persons, recently who have, tried to show some leadership quality that is admirable. I'm just thinking, really, how difficult is it to choose somebody or to say that this person, once they get there, they're able to have human face, they're able to lead right, they're able to deliver the dividends of democracy? Because these days, what we see is somebody who comes and says a lot. Nobody knows that Alex Oti of Abia State would do what he's doing. If he didn't leave the party that he was to join the LP and then the people gave him the mandate, I'm sure that we would have missed something of him, that the kinds of things that he's doing in Abia State.
Yeah.
So some people consider the same thing for the governor of Enugu State and some other persons whom one can kind of be. So at the level of campaign, at the level of interactions, how do you tell beyond what they say? Because anybody can say anything. I mean, I could get somebody to write a manifesto for me, but it's about the action. So how do you tell that this person, beyond what he has said and beyond what has been written for him, can deliver? One thing about leadership, there's a limit. That's why when Peter B said, he makes reference, go and verify, go and do this. Your past will also determine your future. So if your past has not been, and then you are telling me about your future, it's not true now. Because even in the Bible, they say when you are faithful in little things, then bigger things will be given to you. But the issue now, the problem in Nigeria is a bit exceptional, because they are not looking at how good you are. Number one, your either you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, is major point. Number two, where you are coming, whether you are coming from north or whatever is another issue. So the grammar you speak is just but you can ask. Okay, this last election, assuming if you are an employer, and then three of them are lined up, and they continue. You see, we close eye to the reality, and believe it doesn't matter. And then at the end of the day, just like if your car is giving you headache, you go and get a mechanic. If you get the wrong mechanic, you continue to go to, every time you go to mechanic. Because I remember my first car, I bought it, and then I didn't know. I now asked somebody camp to go and get the spare parts. I never knew that he went and brought the spare parts behind me, and they sent it back. So you see, because what you don't know is beyond you. Absolutely.
But if somebody has graduated as a governor, and then maybe if local government, and they find out that leadership is not about speaking grammar, it's about what you do when you're on that seat. Your first 6 months, in short, 3 months, because you must have did. You see, they are always what is end in mind. Most of them, they don't even know where they're going. Somebody will not come. That's why in leadership, those also surround you also matters. Because, and especially when you don't know where you are going, they will now come and tell you, oh God, this one, oh God, this one. And at times, if you are driving and somebody is behind telling you, take this left, take right, when you crash, but if you know where you are going, you say, my friend, I know, don't worry, this way we are going. Because you must define where you are going, because at the end of the day, it's your name that is at stake. At the end of the day, you now say, what is the legacy? It's just like now, if you are to compare, how many governors have you gotten up to? I think 4 of them or 5 of them. And then you want to rate them. You say this person's first, second, third. Somebody among them will carry last. So why? Because of performance now. You look at what he has done, has you done this? It's just like as in exam, you have somebody who score first. Say, what is the criterion for coming first? What's the criterion for coming second? So it's performance driven now.
So would you also say that to someone who would say, this is my turn?
If you say your turn, if you are to be in a real society, you can say your turn and the society will say, no, it's not your turn. And especially if you say your turn, you can lead us to the promised land. Fine, no problem. It's your turn now. But when you say your turn, and then that's your turn now, we are not getting the feeling. So to you, it's your turn now, but it's not everything. It's not turn by turn. Leadership is not turn by turn. Because he's saying that turn at the point he said that he's saying at the party level, because he projected whoever that is on board now. So he believed that after the person, then the person should hand over the baton to him. At times it's not done like that. But you see, that's another language that also come on Nigeria politics. It's my turn. It's turn by turn.
Your criteria for choosing leadership is performance-based. What this person has done, where they are coming from. And you also mentioned the personal conviction of someone, knowing where they're going to, because the people you surround yourself with are those who could spoil you.
Yes, now they can either pull you down. Yes.
So are there other criteria you think we should be looking out for when choosing leaders?
Yes, there are so many criteria you have to, at least the capacity, the person. Okay, like now, if you want to say you want to select next Nigerian president, and then you look at the 36 governors, then what will we be looking at? If you are very objective, or not whether it's north or whether it's south or north is west. One thing we are still getting it wrong in this part of the world, and that's why, because somebody from north will now come and believe he define leadership as a northern region. Somebody from west will now come and define and leave the central Nigeria that also made you possible to become that leader. Because when you are taking you are not taking an oath that you are not or whatever. You are saying this Nigeria is your constituency. But how many of them have? You see, that's why somebody like Abraham Lincoln is very outstanding in America. When he comes, what is the problem? It's just like the problem we're having purely in Nigeria. What did the American Abraham Lincoln? And that's why I found out that if you study the past president of America, you find out that Abraham Lincoln is outstanding. What makes him outstanding? Because then we are having all this problem, and then all this nepotism, all this tribalism, and then he now came. If you read his history very well, this is the type of leader we need. Somebody that will now come and neutralize some of this complaint. It's not that when somebody come from if it's a northern from the north, and they give somebody an opportunity to serve, and they will be rejoicing and say that it's just like give you a piece of no. It's your right now. We're all Nigerians. So yes, if they give you opportunity, you are given opportunity to serve. But they are doing it as if they are giving you a favor. They are sharing cake, so they give you little pieces. And they find out that, in short, we have a lot of problem in this country. How many refineries do you have before now? We have 4. By now, we should be talking of 10 refineries. Even competitive refineries. If you have competitive refineries, all this price will not be increasing the way it's going. And like I said, this price increase on fuel, electricity, is not those in power. They are not feeling it because they don't know. It's the masses that is feeling it more. So that's why they keep increasing it. You know, it's not affecting them now. Except somebody will now come. These people are suffering. Now say that you know that people are suffering. Some of them don't even know. If you have worked at a certain level, you find out that what we are suffering now, this tariff, fuel, whatever, they are not. Some of them for the past 30 years never went to filling station and buy fuel with their money. So how would they know? And most of them don't even have functional factories that will now say that it's affecting their workers. They don't have any factory they are running. They've been living on political money. So all they know that they will not tell them they will do this one, they will do this one. They will not say, okay. Because if you travel abroad, you see, like what is needed in this country now, if is rail system. Because what is the cost of going by flight? Because of insecurity, so many people, before from Abuja, if you live in the 7 o'clock, by 11 o'clock, 12, you're at Abuja. But now, because of insecurity, a lot of people cannot even dare go by road. So if you have an alternative, this rail system, I think it can reduce, but nobody is talking about it. So it's either extreme rich or extreme poor.
Right.
So the middle or whatever have been marginalized.
Talking about the living standards of the citizen, how does the affluence of Nigerian leaders compare to the living standard of Nigerians now?
Yes, now because you see, is everything has cause effect. As they are living in affluence, the ordinary masses, it's just like now what is happening now. You find out that transportation, where for me to come here now, before, how much will I spend? Or even if in short, even if I'm coming by with my car, but you find out that you see it's rubbing on the masses. I don't know whether it's rubbing on you, but I know that it's heavily
rubbing everywhere.
It's rubbing on, because you can't even before you see the thing is so much that but when we complain cannot solve the problem. And then especially when the value of money you have is going down, and then they say it's a currency fluctuation. You find out that if you have 10,000, it's assumed they will pay you that 10,000, but in actual, when you go and convert it, you find out that you are having less than 7,000 or even 6,000 in reality, and that's why a lot of people are running away from this country.
Right. It's this dichotomy that exists, really, like you mentioned, this space of the extremely rich and then the extremely poor. Some people have also said that this poverty is a weapon for the politicians.
Yes.
They use it so that tomorrow when they come around and give you a little money, you'll be able to come by. Do you see it as one? And if you do see it as one, and you have categorized yourself as someone who is on the other side, why do you think people of that category still fall for that prey when they come every 4 years?
Well, when somebody is suppressing you and intimidating you, your level of your capacity to resist is not there. You can't resist them. So what they do, they always come, and that's why you discover that, and then our system is not, because if you watch those going to as senators, as a House of Rep, you find out that the place is so lucrative that most of them who are even carrying cocaine have decided to abandon and then go there. So I think the problem is these offices are so lucrative, and it's not even they do the job. I think if they say they should have attendance register, you find out that some of them have not even if you want to go through the attendance register, because they don't have time. While they are there, they will just collect the money and then running around their business. That's not fair. At the end of the day, it's rubbing off on
the poor masses.
On every And they will collect this money, waiting when they will come now, they know that you are hungry. You know, if you are not suffered hungry, you will not, you know, even if you don't have 5,000, and then somebody come from nowhere and give you 50,000, at least you collect and say, okay, let you eat first and then survive.
Before you know what
And then do their
next.
bidding.
Well, do you have choice?
So that's what we're
You-
saying.
you have-
So-
you-
so
you-
it is not possible to have the kinds of leaders that will change this country if we continue on this trajectory.
No, it's not possible now. That's why everybody is crying now. Of course, some of them are not crying because they are collecting so much. So what's the question now? Let me
So
understand.
the question is, how do we break that chain? If you say that the only way, to get past this is to make beyond just education, because even you see educated people collect monies and do crazy things.
It has nothing to
What
do
is
with
the
anything.
orientation, or what orientation should people have in order to break this
See,
chain?
for us to I believe that God has to send somebody. It's just like
Another Christ.
it's just like if you in the Bible, when somebody like Nehemiah came on board, he saw those problems. In short, in Nigeria, I think God also sent P2B. God has sent P2B, not that he will send. He has sent P2B, whether people like it or not. But the issue that when you have the difference between developed country and developing country, that if you have talent, if they know you have talent and you're gifted, they want to take you to the next level so that they will get the best out of your talent. But in Nigeria, they want to rubbish your talent, and then you see, we like putting mediocres into leadership because if you watch how some governors select somebody who succeed them, they are not selecting them because the person is coming for the state interest. They are selecting them based on their personal interest. So these are societal, but nothing. They said that no condition is permanent, but I so much believe. But it's only when that condition will change.
Right.
Is what I don't know.
Thank
But
you for your time.
As for
Yeah.
whether it will change, definitely it will change.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Ukwu, director in Daniel. That is director Daniel Ukwu leadership, right? I think I got
Executive director or
executive
founder.
director and founder, Daniel Ukwu Leadership Foundation.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time and for being on the show this morning.
Thank you.